I just started my whole intro and wasn't recording. Ha! This is Murder Your Employer, The McMaster's Guide to Homicide by Rupert Holmes, the singer-songwriter of the Pina Colada song. So I may link that if I can remember it down in the description for you. This book is something, and it says it's volume 1. I have not done any research to see if there's a volume 2, even though the narrator of the story does indicate that that is the case. This book was published in 2023. It was available in paperback in 24, and that's the copy that I have, the paperback. This was lent to me. I did not know that Rupert Holmes wrote stories at all. There's a map. No one knows where this place is. Even the students don't know where this place is. So it tells the story of 3 potential graduates, and one of them we follow quite closely. Let me double check what his name is. Cliff. So Cliff Iverson is who we follow more closely, but there are 2 other people, a Gemma Lindley and Doria May. So these are the 3 people that we follow through their diaries. So while they are in school, they keep diaries or journals about what's happening. Now, Cliff has a benefactor, and so he has to keep detailed journals for his benefactor. Can't go into, the specifics of everything in the school, but his experiences he shares with his benefactor so that his benefactor knows that the money that they spent on this school was for, well spent anyway. And to graduate, they have to succeed in their thesis of deleting their employer. So the people that are in this particular version of the school, so this is a big school, they're learning how to delete their employers. So their employers have done something to them that makes them lowlifes. So this isn't like people that are on a spree or people that get fulfillment out of committing that crime. This is a little bit different from that. It's kind of hard to sanction it because it is a crime. But even in this world, it's still a crime, but they are covered by this school. These people that are successful are protected by this school. If they are not successful, they may be deleted themselves for fear of them giving away everything about the school. So they kind of have to sign an NDA or NDA, non-disclosure agreement. I was trying to think non-disclosure statement or agreement, but it's an agreement where they're not allowed to tell anybody about anything that happens while they're at this school. Cliff is basically, he is unconventionally selected, I think. He's been watched over a period of time by some scouts of the school, and he attempts to take out his employer because his employer is a complete self-centered, egotist, terrible person. He caused people to be so disillusioned, just completely ruined their mental health to the point where it affected and impacted the company and a few people within that company. And Cliff is like, this is not right. This guy is the worst thing that ever lived, and I need to deal with it. And he attempted, failed, and was kidnapped. Only he didn't know he was kidnapped at first. He thought, he didn't know if it was successful. He didn't really know what happened because when they kidnap you, they jab you with something that knocks you out and takes you to wherever. So he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know if he was being arrested. He didn't know what was happening. And the next thing he knows, he's waking up in a van with a hood over his eyes. And he ends up at this school. So it talks about the lessons that they have, their failures, what they learn, how they deal with each other, and then what happens with their thesis. So their thesis is to fulfill their desire to delete their employer. It's terrible. It's a terrible name of a story. It's like you can't even talk about this out loud because people are going to think that you're absolutely bananas, and there really is like a handbook. This is not a handbook. This is nothing like that. It's fantastical. The stuff that they do is just insane. You're like, what if they really had a school like this? That would be crazy, right? I enjoyed the book. They have it set up so that you can see like what the rules are. There's some rules right there. They have it set up so you know which diary or which journal we're reading out of. And it seems to be told from what's the guy's name? Oh my goodness gracious. What was the guy's name? I can't remember. Oh, okay. I had to read the back of the book because, I can't remember. I've read several books between then and when I read this one and now. Dean Harrow. So Dean Harrow takes a special interest in these students, particularly these three, and the story is told from his perspective through the use of their diaries and journals. It also follows what happens after they leave the academy. After they leave the school, they have to, like I said, fulfill their thesis, and then it tells us whether they're successful and what happens to them afterwards. I enjoyed the story. Cliff was interesting. You felt bad for Cliff for what happened because he does describe everything. You feel kind of bad for Doria, and I felt a little bad for Gemma as well. But because we were focusing so much on Cliff, he was the one that I cared the most about. Did I want him to be successful? Yeah, because I didn't want him to end up being deleted, but I also don't condone what he did. So if I can find out if there are any other books released yet, I will put that down in the description. Y'all, go down in the description. It should give you everything that you need to know, where to find this book about Rupert Holmes, that sort of thing. Y'all, have you read the book? If you have, let me know. Go down in the comments. Tell me, did you enjoy it? Tell me, are there sequels for it? Because as I said, I didn't do my homework and look for that yet. What was I going to say? Go to your library, see if they have it at your library. As I said, this was loaned to me, so I didn't check my library at all. If they don't have it, you might be able to request it, and they'll get a copy of it for you. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to each other. No one knows what's going on with anybody, so there's no reason to be disrespectful, to be inconsiderate of other people. It's just rude. Go down in the comments. Again, as I said, tell me what you're reading, what you recommend for me. Be kind down there too. All right? And I appreciate y'all coming. Thank you so much. Have a great day.